it's interesting. 55% of salespeople lack basic sales skills. As a sales coach, I see this more and more. I would have thought that that number is probably higher than that. But anyway, let's go with 55%. But one of the damning statistics for me was that it takes 10 months on average for a salesperson to reach their full potential. 10 months. Think about the money that that's costing you. You're investing so much in a sales talent. So let's not only assume the $60,000 to $70,000 worth of salaries that you're throwing at them, but let's look at the lost income. 10 months can be hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars worth of lost revenue, just because you're on the slow track, not the fast track, when it comes to onboarding new sales talent. So how did I get it right after the first 90 days? This is a couple of snapshots of what I actually did. So the first thing I would do is I would think to myself, so how can I effectively use this 90-day probation period? The 90-day onboarding probation period, so that the sales talent could either prove themselves or I could offload them without having to pay any penalties. And then, if it was successful, how could I replicate the onboarding process that I was using with this sales talent? And how could I be certain that the talent would make my team? And how could I challenge and test my talent member? Because if the talent member hit all those road marks, then I knew I was on a winner. So it would be replicatable, they'd be on my team, but I would have challenged them and tested them along the way. Those were the things that I was trying to do when I started the 90-day fast track onboarding process. And what it looked like to me after 90 days was the sales talent was adhering to company values and culture. They had great product knowledge. They had knowledge and use on the CRM we're using. They had the ability to price and quote clients. They were effectively cold outreaching and doing lead gen. The new talent had hit KPIs, and the new talent had compiled, modified the training manual. Now, that's what 90-day success looks like to me. Let me just focus on training manual just for a moment. Because the biggest thing that I did when I got this model right is that I made a conscious decision that this is going to be painful, but I'm going to train this person myself. So I spent hours, especially in the first month, training the sales talent. They were my shadow, right? I was training them about the business. I was training them about the history of the business. I was helping them with their pitch. We did everything together. And their job was to document everything. Because part of their 90-day onboarding process was documenting everything that they went through, all of their learnings in a training manual. And if that training manual was successfully compiled at the end of the 90 days and they joined the team, they would get a $2,000 bonus. Then that training manual became the basis for the next person that was trained. Now the onus was off me. Now they'd be trained by the person that had just been through the training, and that person was now adding to our information pool, which was our manual. I hope this makes sense. This was the best thing I ever did. I did it once and it was hard, took a lot of time, but that's the only time I had to do it. And remember now, this was before videos. Now everything's video. Now everything is way easier for you to follow this and record it. So that's what success looked like to me. And I had a map of 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. And I'm not going to read all these out, but after 30 days, this is what I wanted the sales talent to be able to do in my equipment business. So they became confident in the use of the CRM, became confident with specifications, operations of one of my product lines. They've completed stage 1 of product training, confident in the sales process with framing, right? And passed the milestone evaluation. There's a lot in there. And so in this particular business, which was an equipment business, I had 3 products, 3 months. And I was saying, right, this is what you need to learn. This is the result I want you to get to. Now, go and do that. He'd spend time with the technicians working on the machines. He'd spend time out in the field. I organised time with some of my clients with an arborist. I organised some time with a building maintenance company, so he could go out and actually work with my clients using the machines they bought from me, so we could more fully understand it. We left no stone unturned, so that at the end of the 30 days, then they had to pass a milestone evaluation. This is when everything got interesting. What was the milestone evaluation? Well, my team and I would role play, and we would role play. We would take our roles very seriously. We would pretend to be a client, and we knew more about the products than the new talent did. It was challenging, but I wanted them to feel safe failing with us rather than out in the field. And so, as you can see, we had a criteria for presentation, product, and other. And everyone on our team would score out of 70. So what's that, 210? They had to at least pass, or they were out, or they didn't advance to month 2. It was that simple. It was brutal. I had one sales talent at the end of one of these examinations. He was actually crying. He said, "That's the hardest thing I've ever done." We were ruthless. But as I said to him, I want you to fail here, not out there. And he ended up becoming one of the best sales talent that I've ever had.